welcome to Bella Stitchery. It's Tutorial Tuesday. So let's talk about a problem all of us scrapbookers face, and that is finding a really adorable scrapbook page and then upon further inspection realizing that the print is so big that you're not really sure how to incorporate your photos or what to even do with it. Framing it as is, perfectly great. You could also use it as one side of your double layout and put your photos on the other side. Also good. But I wanted to kind of think around the design and see if there's still a way to use the paper itself in a scrapbook layout. So I'm going to show you several things that I came up with using these three gorgeous but very busy sheets of paper. We're going to make this one together. Here's what I ended up with. Cute, right? I put a little photo mat in there, popped up the wreath, used the inside text as an embellishment off to the side, and just added some simple flowers. And then at the end of the video, I'll show you briefly what I did with these other two as well. So come on, let's go make some stuff. So the first thing I suggest when you're going to be doing fancy cutting like this is to use a blade. This is a Fisker's blade here. The sharper the better. I have never changed this blade. It probably should be changed. Sometimes it'll pull and tear the paper rather than cut it, which is why you do want a sharp blade. And you definitely want a self-healing mat. Very important. I use this for a lot of different crafts. That is why it just was covered with glitter and glue and all manner of crafty goodness. So what I did for this one is I thought this would be a cute little opening for a photo. I also wanted to leave a little border here just so I could see more of the detail on the leaves. You can also go directly to the leaf. So however you stylistically like to do it, just try to keep it consistent all the way around and it'll look great either way. So I just kind of pull and drag my blade. I find it's easier if I move my paper rather than move my hand to creative angles. So I just kind of move and, you know, use it almost like you would a pencil, like this. So however you feel is comfortable to use your blade, but it is essentially just like a pen or a pencil, just a little bit more dangerous, obviously. And so that's exciting. Nothing like a blade slipping right into your hand. We've all been there too. Between blades and glue guns, you know, it's not always pretty, this craft business. And then again, my blade is not very sharp, but when you go through your leaves, you're going to see this kind of just pop apart. And it's a really fun technique once you get a little bit of practice, because there are so many brands like Graphic 45 that tend to do a lot of illustration, very busy prints. And you could just cut those up, make your own embellishments, tags, layer, collage, once you kind of get used to being comfortable doing this fussy cutting. So I'm going to do the rest of this and then we'll pop it out and go on to the next step. Okay, so we're back. I popped this out here, and then another little fussy cutting option is with your actual scissors. So for this, I wanted the Happy Holidays to be mainly just the text, not a lot of this background, because again, you know, we're looking at a lot of real estate already being used here. So I didn't want to take up a lot more by adding this huge bulky square somewhere. So I wanted to make this as streamlined as possible. Let me show you. Let me take this away here. So the other fussy cutting technique is to use very small scissors. This is, Singer brand. And then you're just going to, again, just like with the blade, it's so much easier to just move your paper versus your hand when it comes to fine cutting. It just gives you a smoother cut, and it's might seem obvious, but I don't know if you haven't tried this way. I encourage you to, because I think you'll find you get a lot smoother of a cut, and you could also have easier access to a lot of these tinier little nooks and crannies as you go. Especially like, if you ever cut paper dolls out or anything like that, sometimes it's hard to get around the little corners or the hands. So you definitely want small scissors. I use these in everything. And you want to kind of take your time, but the rotating of the paper is kind of, actually it's kind of relaxing too. I know a lot of people just fussy cut things out as they watch their shows and just have a stack of stuff ready to use when they're actually sitting down to do their crafts, because it's kind of zen, you know. So here's my happy holidays. Now, I want this to really pop up like some kind of shadow box. So what I did is I took a background paper I liked. This one is actually from Seven Gypsies, their Barcelona paper line, but it really matched quite well. This is Recollections Fireside. I'll put a link to this pack if you're interested in my description. And then, if you can see, there's a lot of dimension in this piece, which I really wanted to do because I knew I wouldn't be adding a ton of things in the way of embellishments. I still wanted it to be interesting and cool. So what I did is cut up some packaging, the thickest boxes that I could find. I keep a lot of boxes because this is a great technique for any kind of pop-up. And then I cut some apart, and I'm just gonna glue it onto the back of my main page here. Hot glue is great for this because hot glue sticks to everything pretty quick. And this doesn't even have to be an exact, just fill in the blanks, okay? It's a great way to recycle too, so if you want to feel good about yourself, there you go. Nailed it. Okay, so I'm gonna put some more pieces. Some of these I might have to cut down more. And again, doesn't have to be super pretty. You're never gonna see this part of it once your page is put together. But I did want it to be relatively stable and hold its shape. So that's why I'm putting so many pieces here. I don't know if you could tell when I'm cutting it, but man, these are really thick pieces of cardboard. I don't even know what box this was from. Okay, let's do maybe one more. This is another thing you could cut while you're watching shows or whatever, is if you wanted to just cut up some cardboard to use as pop-up dots, basically, and just have those in a box ready to go. Okay, and then we're going to just flip this over. Move my stuff here. And I'm going to glue it down onto my page, leaving a little bit of room here because I'm also going to tuck a photo mat. See that? Underneath. I guess I could actually tuck it here first. But I also don't want to glue on top of this photo mat because the photo will have to be slid in once I'm ready for that part of it later. Okay, so just place it about where you want it. And then I like to just lift one side, throw my glue down there, and just let it sit. Any extra you could trim when you're done. Okay. It's a quick page, really. And it's always fun to be able to use papers that at first you weren't even sure there was much to do with. I mean, I have whole stacks of paper collections like this where I'm like, I just had to buy it because I liked it. But now looking at it 3 years later, don't know how I'll ever incorporate this into my scrapbook. Okay. I'm going to trim the extra. Okay. Then with a little bit of glue, and for this, art glitter glue might be easier just because it allows you to move your stuff around a little bit more. I'm going to throw a little of this guy. How come it's always clogged when I'm on video? I think it's on purpose at this point. Okay, so I'm going to throw some art glitter glue. Doesn't take a lot. Tuck the photo mat back in here and under my hollies. And then I'm just going to move it in place. This is a little bit tricky. Okay. There, like so. And I wanted to pop up this as well. So I'm going to throw some more of those cardboard pieces. Just trim it roughly to fit. Like so. That should be good. More glue. I go through a lot of glue sticks, I'll tell you that. Okay, then we're just going to glue this down. Kind of want it to overlap a little bit so you could tell it's not a part of this paper, but it's another embellishment basically. And then I'm going to use these little roses. These are from Little Birdie Crafts to kind of decorate this, just so it's not one note. You know, you got to go a little bit fancy, add a little something. I'm going to add those like that. Oops. Oh no! I glued it to my table. You didn't see that. I'm a professional. Okay. Craft fails. Boom. Right there. Okay. Gonna glue some more down. These are adorable. Really happy. Happy little roses. Okay. Glue them like that. And then for the final touch, I added some red rhinestones of various size. These, oh gosh, I feel like we're on sale at Craft Warehouse. I'm not sure if you have one where you're at, but Michael's probably has them too. Hobby Lobby, they're great. And they're actually on strips, which I hardly ever use them that way. I tend to just cut them up like that and use them individually. And I just like it for a little bit of shine. A little bit of dimension, something extra. It's the funnest thing about crafting to me is just adding all the little embellishments, especially flowers and rhinestones. I feel like I pretty much use those for anything. Okay, so here we're going to add another couple. Wherever you feel. Okay. The art glitter glue is excellent for this kind of application because it's not messy and it really does have a great adhesiveness. Adhesiveness. Yeah, I think that's a word. Okay, and then I'm going to add a couple here by the bird as well. Are really sticky. Okay. Does anybody have a really good jewel picker upper? I bought one a little while back and I still really don't use it because I feel like it's almost even more clumsy than my own fingers. So maybe I just don't have a good one. What's a good jewel picker upper? You know what I'm talking about? Like the little sticky ended wax things. Okay, here's my finished page. Look at that. Not a lot of embellishments needed. Again, the print itself is so decorative that you don't need to add a lot, but it's fun to be able to use it and feel like a boss. You know what I'm saying? So let me show you what else I did with some of those fuller prints I was talking about. So here's one. All is calm, all is bright, adorable. What do you do with this? Man, I really did glue this table. For this one, what I decided to do was to cut the extra on both sides so that I essentially had this phrase by itself, and then I used it, matted it with this kind of glitter cardstock, shoved it over, and put my photo mats here. What do you think? And I kind of just did pink on pink. The base cardstock is gray, but pink rhinestones, pink flowers, I kind of like white on white, pink on pink, kind of monochromatic, I think looks nice. And you really can't mess that up. And then my final one I wanted to show you is This cute llama page. What happens under the mistletoe stays under the mistletoe. I don't know if that's true. But for this one, I actually just cut out kind of a sloppy circle around the text, then cut them a little bit better with my paper trimmer individually and matted them. Because again, this phrase is really big. So even if I had them in strips, it really ran too much across the page to allow me to do much. So I used my tool here to cut around these llamas and a little bit of the mistletoe. And then I tucked in a big doily, some other die cut layers here, and then some gold leaves. That's with a punch, a leaf punch, and some Prima Marketing flowers. And again, it's a really full page, but the extra embellishments are relatively simple because the text and the print really takes over the whole design. So it's just a matter of kind of trying to think of where you can move things while still using everything that's on it to put your photo somewhere. But I like it. I actually really like this one. And it's kind of a fun color combo, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is I'll put links to the things that I can find online in my description if you're interested in any of these collections. And then leave me a comment and let me know what you think about that. And is there anything that you've worked on that you are just really proud of yourself for figuring out? Because for me, these busy papers for so many years have been a mental block for me as far as what to do with them. And so again, I just collect them because it doesn't stop me from buying them. Oh no. But then what do you do? So I feel proud of myself. I'm just going to say it. I feel proud of what I've accomplished this week with this challenge. And I'd like to know what has been challenging for you that you feel, I don't know, brag. This is a time to brag. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, follow me on this crafting journey. Let's make stuff together. Check it out and try it out. Let's make some stuff. Bye.